What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Human League, and we're going to begin going through their Fascination EP, 1983, and there's two versions of, parenthetically, Keep Feeling and then Fascination. This is the extended mix, which opens the EP, which is an interesting quirk to learn, and then the final version has improvisation as the final specification, or, parenthetical identifiers. So yeah, curious to hear an EP that begins and ends with different versions of the same tune and ends with a version that I guess on some level is improvisational, or maybe that's part of the concept of the track. Being fascinated through not becoming stuck in a routine or through necessarily following a script. Either way, I will continue to think about the EP title as the album, or I actually looked up Discogs. It's called a mini album, so yeah, it's a longer EP, I guess is what that means. Either way, Keep Feeling Fascination, the idea of not losing the curiosity and the spark, the interest that characterizes perhaps a healthy and keen human mind. So maybe the idea of not becoming mired in boredom or cynicism or a simple going through the motions of life, rather than actually, feeling it and experiencing it in a more earnest way. So maybe it'll have nothing to do with any of that, but that's what the title makes me think of. Let's hear it. This is Keep On. Is it Keep On or just Keep Feeling? Yeah, Keep Feeling Fascination, the extended version, the first track on their 1983 Fascination EP. Very church organ. Funky 80s bass line. Feels like an extended version intro. Oh, this is... I've heard this one. Not extensively, and not back then, but more recently. I'll wait till the end, but...
It seems a little time is needed. Decisions to be made.
New direction in an old familiar way.
To study or to play. And so the conversation turned until the sun went down, and many fantasies were learned on that day. Keep feeling fascination, passion burning, love so strong. Keep feeling fascination, looking, learning, moving on. For the truth may need some rearranging, stories to be told, I'm plain to see the facts are changing. No meaning left to hold. And so the conversation
Interesting that like lines about epistemology.
until the sun went down, and many fantasies were learned on that day. Keep feeling fascination, passion burning, love so strong. Keep feeling fascination, looking, learning, moving on.
You can tell there's an interlude of some kind coming there. I like that acidy rubber band elastic wibble flourish.
And so the conversation turned until the sun went down, and many fantasies were learned on that day. Keep feeling fascination, passion burning, love so strong. Keep feeling fascination, looking, learning, moving on. Keep feeling fascination, passion burning, love so strong. Keep feeling fascination, looking, learning, moving on.
The funk.
Keep feeling fascination, passion burning, love so strong. Keep feeling fascination, looking, learning, moving on. Keep feeling fascination, passion burning, love so strong.
Fading.
Keep feeling fascination, looking,
It's funny, it's like an extended version, but it didn't feel quite as expansive. I'm gonna say like 4.5. We're looking at a little under 5, more than 4.5, but not quite 5. So, yeah, ultimately not quite as extended, and perhaps in that way, like making a little more sense to me at the beginning of an EP. So even if it's the extended version to start the EP, it wasn't like an 8-minute, multiple instrumental interlude type of extended versions. It felt like on some level, at least with the chorus, like the female sung part, that it was sort of saying that, you have to be engaged and you need to like keep that spark and that passion. But then the lines about, we spoke until the sun went down, or the conversation turned until the sun went down. I'm not sure like about those lines, but perhaps it felt like it was on some level about, keeping the essence of, being fascinated by things, being in awe of things, being curious about things. It felt like maybe there was something there. And then, yeah, not only does this not sound like the earliest Human League, but I would say even because maybe the more ubiquitous presence of the female singer singular on this one, it sounded like there was only one voice. I know there's like 2 women that like have joined, but it sounded like here there was like, at least just in terms of the lead, like the female lead, maybe there was backing vocals that I didn't really pick up on. But as I was like alluding to during the track, at my work, at least one day a week when I'm the one who like is there first and turns on the stereo, I put it on this 80s channel, and it plays a lot of like female artists in particular, because it's like technically the Cyndi Lauper channel within this larger, it's iHeartRadio. And so they'll play like Cyndi Lauper and Laura Branigan and Annie Lennox and, basically a lot of like female-led groups from the 80s in particular, or just female solo artists. But they do play other artists as well, including those that are like male artists. I guess in this case it's sort of both, but they do play Human League tracks from time to time. And often, the one that cycles by the most is, of course, Don't You Want Me, but they have played a couple other ones, and I'm at work, so sometimes it's like I hear 30 seconds of whatever track's playing, and then I have to go to the back, or I'm answering a phone call, or I'm just doing other things, and I can't like sit and listen to it. This tune I remember because of that chorus, that sort of bright like riffy sort of melody in the chorus. That melody I definitely remember hearing, and I think I might even have sent an email to Han Solo about this. I was like, oh, like I heard this track, and like I was wondering, I think if it was on Dare, and maybe it was a different tune, because again, there were like a couple other Human League tracks that they played that I heard in part and hadn't heard before. Though again, the one that they played the most, "Don't You Want Me," is one I knew going back years. Nevertheless, I must have heard that in part, because only the chorus, though, that was the thing. Like, only that melodic riff. Like, oh wait, I definitely, my brain registered that before. But the lines specifically, including like the female lines in the chorus, I didn't recall them. So it's what I must have heard, again, like in a fleeting listening experience. Certainly not like this. Nevertheless, a cool opener for the album, or for the mini album / EP, though again, let's say a less serious and gritty sound compared to the original configuration of Human League, and maybe even a funkier version of Human League than we heard on Dare, again with that sort of bass line, and eventually even the lead melody was kind of like riffing in a funky way toward the end. So yeah, maybe it felt like a bit of an evolution in that regard, which is funny because I keep going through the Heaven 17 first album, Penthouse and Pavement. It's like, ooh, lots of funk and some soul in here, like to a surprising degree maybe. So yeah, maybe it's indicative of industry-wide trends or directions. Maybe it's just independent convergence on a funkier sound, and knowing on some level that like groups like Duran Duran and maybe not so much Depeche Mode, but definitely Duran, like mid-'80s, Notorious, that's like a funk-heavy, brass-heavy sort of album, so who knows? These are all things that go through my head as I do these different deep dives, and find points of connection or difference as I go through different catalogs, or even the same catalog over time. In any case, I won't waste any more of your time, but I will see you next time. Peace.